Hey, how's it going, YouTube? This is Spearfield7 bringing you another edition of Special People of the Internet. Basically a series where we highlight the fun, the funny, the savage, the stupid, the tragic. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about zombies. So in the background I got a Kino Der Toten gameplay. I was having trouble sleeping last week. And I woke up at like 4 in the morning and I was like, oh, I'm just going to do a little casual Kino run, make my pot of coffee, get ready for the day. And then like 6 hours passed. And by the end of it, it was just like my brain was breaking. Like I was just so tired of playing it. I just went down and that was that. But today, this video is going to be about 7 examples of real life zombies. So the first example comes from the animal kingdom, actually. On September 10th, 1945, farmer Lloyd Olson was slaughtering chickens, taking their heads off with a hatchet. Generally, chickens die from beheading, but one brave poultry looked death in the eye and said, "Not today." He became known as Mike the Headless Chicken, and he made the sideshow circuit for 18 months following his beheading. Although technically Mike still had a head, sort of. Olson's hatchet whack only managed to sever the upper half of Mike's brainstem, allowing his body to retain all of its motor functions. He could even still eat, though he still had to be fed via a syringe full of liquid food dropped straight into his esophagus. That's fucking gross. Ugh. Legend has it this manner of eating and drinking led to Mike's demise as he suffocated before a syringe of water could be administered. Man, that's a really fucked up story. My grandpa and grandma lived on a farm when I was a kid, and I saw my grandfather kill chickens, for food, basically. Using the chicken, not just being overly cruel to animals. It left a big impact on my brain ever since. I have memories of that, and they aren't particularly good. My stomach's actually turning just thinking about it. Next, let's get into some people. So Haiti, part of their culture is, this idea of resurrected people, and it kind of predated all the George Romero films, which is kind of like how Americans got in on the whole zombie craze or whatever. But Haitians have very strong beliefs about resurrection of the human body. And so this is a story out of Haiti. This case was observed by researchers in Haiti sometime in 1996 or 1997. A woman was around 30 years old when she died after a short febrile illness and was buried by her family the same day in the family tomb next to their house. 3 years later, she was recognized by a friend wandering near the village. Oh my god. So it's like your dead best friend just shows up in a marketplace someday and it's just like, yo, what's up, bro? What's good? Oh, wow. Ugh. If I knew my friend was dead and I saw him living, bro, I'd be making a beeline. You'd be seeing me going Usain Bolt in the opposite direction, dog. And it wasn't a case of missing identity or confused identity. The dead person's mother actually confirmed the identity by a facial mark, as did her 7-year-old daughter, her siblings, other villagers, her husband, and the local priest. So all of them were in sort of unison that this person actually rose from the dead. She appeared mute and unable to feed herself. Her parents accused her husband of zombifying her. He was just... That'd make a great Maury Povich episode, Not you are not the father. It's like, you zombified your wife because she was unfaithful. After a local court authorized the opening of her tomb, which was full of stones, her parents were undecided whether to take her home, and she was admitted to the psychiatric hospital in Port-au-Prince. It was later determined the woman likely suffered from catatonic schizophrenia. However, just how she managed to emerge from her tomb and wander home has never been explained. Ugh, that's just, ooh, wow. The hairs on my arm are just standing up. I'm like, ooh. Next one comes out of Africa. Sleeping disease runs rampant in African countries, affecting tens of thousands yearly. It is described by Professor Sanjeev Krishna of St. George's, University of London, as such. At first, it will cause headaches, aching muscles, and maybe itching. But in the late stages, when the parasites have invaded the brain, oh god, Oh god. The signs become more obvious and ominous. Victims find it hard to concentrate, they become irritable, their speech is slurred, and they stop eating. Their daily rhythm becomes disrupted to such an extent that they can't sleep at night and find it almost impossible to stay awake during the day. It even becomes very hard for them to do simple mental tasks such as drawing a straight line. This is an infection that carries nightmarish qualities, reducing many of its victims to a zombie-like state before they go into a coma and die. Okay, alright, that's enough tragedy in one day for me. Jesus Christ. It's kind of a depressing video. Back to the animal kingdom, zombie ants. You heard that right. There are zombie ants out there in nature, and I am never going to go to sleep again. They're afflicted by a parasitic fungus that biologically manipulates the insects into doing their bidding. Fungi of the genus Ophiocordyceps. Oh my god. I butchered that, I'm sure. Fungi of the genus whatever. So-called zombie anti-fungi need ants to complete their life cycle. When an ant comes across fungal spores while foraging, the fungus infects the insect and quickly spreads throughout its body. Fungal cells in the ant's head release chemicals that hijack the insect's central nervous system. The fungus forces the ant to climb up vegetation and clamp down onto a leaf or twig before killing its hapless drone. It then grows a spore-releasing stalk out of the back of the victim's head to infect more ants on the ground below. Dude, that's some Zetsubo no Shima shit, bro. Zombie Chronicles, good lord. Ugh. My hair is no longer standing up on my arms and now I just feel itchy. I just feel so itchy right now, gross. Okay, next up, crazed cannibal loves rare steak. In April 2016, Chad Feeney, a man living in England, had the top part of his ear bitten off by a man at the YMCA where he had been living. People go hard at the YMCA, yeah. Feeney told police that he had came into the commons room after a night of drinking and struck up a conversation with the man. They got into the topic of food, at which point the man told Feeney his favorite food was rare steak. The man then leapt onto Feeney and began munching on his ear, the sound of which sounded to Feeney like someone eating lettuce. Ugh. Further stated there was a massive chomp and then there was blood everywhere. He had blood all over his mouth and he was laughing maniacally to himself. The man was apparently evicted from the YMCA before police arrived, left to wander the streets in search of his next meal. Oh my god, disgusting. Ooh. I mean, I understand, like, when you with your girl and, like, you know, there's a little bit of nibbling going on, but, like, bro, like, this dude went full Mike Tyson for sustenance. Like, he was trying to eat the dude's ear. That's... yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can co-sign that. That's not an approved message of Spearfield 7's YouTube channel. So next up, Kevin Santos, a 2-year-old, was pronounced dead at a hospital in his hometown of Belém in Brazil. The 2-year-old was placed in an airtight body bag for 3 hours while his family made preparations for his funeral. Man, they wasted no time. They were going to bury that dude the same day. During the wake, family members noticed the boy was moving. Oh god, oh no. Santos then sat up and asked his father for a glass of water. The ecstatic family was let down, however, when only seconds later the boy fell over again. He was rushed to the hospital and declared dead a second time. So I don't know if he was like in a coma or what kind of condition would allow that where you could be pronounced dead and come back, but apparently this happened in Brazil. And lastly, this is just the beautiful story of this video. Just delicious story out of Miami. The Miami Cannibal. You probably heard of this story, but I found out a new wrinkle to this that was kind of interesting. This story was big news back in May 2012, especially given the eerie footage of the incident that made the rounds on the internet. Miami resident Rudy Eugene stripped naked and attacked homeless man Ronald Papo, eating about 80% of the man's face. When police arrived at the scene, they were forced to open fire on the belligerent Eugene. He took far more bullets than his body should have been able to withstand before finally dropping. It was originally theorized that Eugene had ingested bath salts, or even PCP. See, I remember like when I was a kid, there was like a Cops episode where like they had to shoot this guy. He had like climbed a light pole, like a street pole or something. He was all tripping out on drugs. He just like had, God only knows what was in his system, but I think they said in the video it was like PCP or whatever. And they shot that motherfucker like 28 times and he didn't fall, dude. So if you want to become the Incredible Hulk, take PCP. Actually, don't. Like, please don't, because I don't want to be liable for any of that shit. Drugs are bad, okay? So don't take them. Don't do them. But anyways, like, so they ran a toxicology report, and what I didn't know, and what I wanted to share with y'all today, his toxicology reports revealed that he only had trace amounts of marijuana in his system. So it leaves the explanation for his zombie-like attack on Ronald Popo a mystery, the homeless guy. So yeah, just a little bit of trace amounts of weed. I mean, it's like, usually when I guess people smoke weed, they just laugh a lot and like get cravings for like Cheetos. Not human flesh. Homeless man face. Can you imagine eating a face just in general, but a homeless man face? You know, just like caked with dirt and grease and all sorts of nasty shit. I'm gonna quit. I'm getting out of hand. But anyways, I just wanted to share some of these examples. I thought it was pretty funny. Wanted to post the gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll be back soon with more. Until next time, this is Spearfield 7. See you later.